Alrighty. Always exciting when a box from Felder shows up. Looks like it's hopefully nothing's missing, but let's get this opened up and have a look at what we've got. Well, I know what we've got, but been thinking about this accessory for quite a while now, thinking that it will help me ripping stuff on this saw. So let's see, shall we? That's another part that I'll show you. And what this is a basically a roller. That's that. Get rid of that stuff. So let's have a look. So the idea is that this will just support material here somewhere and make it easier when I'm feeding stuff in on the shaper as well, but certainly more so with the saw. Let's get this put together. Don't think it's going to be too difficult. And we'll have a look. I love these glasses, but sometimes they're really hard to see out of. Okay. This leg is actually recommended by Felder. To be honest, I don't know that I've seen a difference using it, but considering I do pull the slider all the way back and then load it, it's probably a good idea to have it. There we go. I haven't done it enough. Clearly I hadn't. Okay. I guess there's more than the one type of bolt because this fits both the Felder and the Format 4 machines. So, okay. Now that I've gotten over that little brain fart, we should be good to go. So this is all going to get really tight though. No. Okay. All right, now it's one. And up. So make sure that's fairly square, it's not there. That's perfect. Okay, and then let me see. Oh, there's also an end plane thread. Okay. Well, for the purpose of this video, I'm going to thread it. Can't thread it. Too close. Okay. Just be careful here not to get the wires when it starts. Okay, well that was rather easy. So with this forward, you'll be able to see better. Actually, I'll bring it back to here, and you can see how this works. Now there is a lock there. And then just a little button to pull out, and that then drops down out of the way. So it's then locked in actually. And now this gives me a bunch of support, obviously, for when I'm ripping materials, which I won't do right now because I need to finish some miter cuts. Bit of a change. The specs have changed on the mattress dimensions, so I'm going to need to cut these bed rails down. So this is actually a pretty good example of, and it's not bad, I guess, there, but having this, undo that, having that there to support it. So the idea, I guess, with this is just simply to take one thing out of the equation, and that's balancing the material on this end of the saw when you're ripping material. So let's give this a shot. Okay, well, I have to say that did exactly what I was hoping it would do, and I guess is what it's supposed to do, and that is to support material here. Now I could actually put the, certainly with this width, put the little extension table on that. But I think this is actually a better option. It's right there. It's simply a case of, flipping it away. Yeah, I'm pretty happy. It comes with the Felder Premium, but it is good quality. It fits perfectly. It works perfectly. Yeah, that'll definitely make ripping on this saw easier. And so for the other accessory that came in the box of goodies from Felder was this quick lock cap for the spindle moulder or the shaper. I believe it can be used on the saw arbor as well. However, I bought it specifically to use on the shaper. And there are a couple of reasons for that. The main one, I guess, is just, easier, faster. But being a combination machine and having a 10'6" slider, unlike a dedicated shaper, if you will, that typically is only probably 4 feet max wide with a short slider. The 10-foot slider means that, especially if I've got an outrigger on or extra tables and stuff, when I have to change cutter heads on the machine or knives in the cutter head or whatever, I've got to undo the table, slide it back, open up the cover here so that I can access the pin that locks the spindle so I can undo it. And that's, like I said, that's not too big a deal unless I've got the outrigger and stuff on. And sometimes too when I've got the power feeder set up quite low to the table and I swing that away, it'll actually interfere with the table sometimes. So it's not ideal on this machine. So the idea with this, of course, is being able to tighten the undo and tighten up the cap on the spindle without having to push the pin in to do that. And how it works is there is a sort of tapered, two tapered parts on here, and with a little grub screw. And the grub screw essentially just splits the part in two, and as it does, it pulls the thread towards the cap and therefore tightens the cap down onto the cutter head. So there is, of course, one major thing to all of this, and that is the fact that by doing it this way and not having to slide the slider back, open up the cover, and by doing so, tripping the micro switch on that cover, which isolates the machine. So as soon as you do that to change cutter heads or knives in a cutter or whatever, the machine is isolated. With this, of course, when we don't open that up, the machine is always live. So you've really got to, keep your wits about you and isolate the machine before you change cutter heads. But it is really isolated. It is really important to isolate that when you're doing this. So this is how easy it is though now, and yeah, if I pull these off, pop a cutter head on, simply screw this down by hand, and then using the supplied T-wrench, tighten that up, and your cutter is tightened. So no messing around opening the slider and stuff, which is really, really nice. Will it pay for itself? It was 330 or 50 Canadian dollars, I'm not sure. I don't remember. I try and forget that stuff soon after I actually hit buy. But yeah, will it pay for itself? Possibly. It will certainly save me time over time. However, more importantly than that, for me at least, is the fact that it's just less of a hassle, and it just makes my day better, right? When I'm doing this all day, it's nice to do that. So, and the fact that, I'm typically doing much shorter runs of material for whatever it is that I'm using the shaper for, and so I may need to do multiple tooling changes for, one small job, and, multiple tool changes really add up. So this will certainly help in that regard. So, well, there you go. So there's another couple of accessories for you to consider for your Felder CF741. They will, keep in mind, both of these will also work, of course, on the dedicated saws or saw shapers and the shapers, dedicated shapers. So is it are they must-have accessories? No, not really. Certainly in my case, I know I'm going to utilize them a lot. And so for me, they will be good value, if you like, in the long run. You may or may not get as much use out of these accessories as I think I will, but that's up to you to decide. Now that you've seen how it all works, yeah, I'll leave that up to you. So if you have any questions about the accessories, though, please leave a comment in the section below. And yeah, if I have any issues or find any sort of little weird sort of things with either of these accessories or any of the accessories on this machine for that matter, in future I will be sure to let you know in a video. Yeah, so that sort of wraps up this video. Thank you very much for watching. If you liked the video, please give it a thumbs up, and if you're not subscribed, please consider that. That certainly will help out my ego, if nothing else. But yeah, again, thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next video.